Hi everyone, my name is Hadiza. Hope you are loving our videos, our talks, our conversations. If you do, please remember to like our videos after watching them. And also, please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can do that now by clicking on the red subscription button below. Also remember that you can be part of our conversation by dropping your comments below. Tell us how we are doing and how you think we can improve our show. We look forward to hearing from you. In the meantime, enjoy today's conversation. Bye.
If your parents are against you marrying the person you love, will you go ahead and marry the person?
No.
Well,
Someone you love.
I'll keep trying.
Exactly.
I'll try. I'll try. They will start begging me to come on. They start begging me. I mean, we know they see me make move again. I mean, bring the best.
They bring that
But then you look all moody and this is.
I'm serious.
I won't actually.
I'm actually talking from a friend's experience. A girl, you know, she's Igbo, and then the guy is Benue, and the parents said that. In fact, the guy's dad is Yoruba. Sorry, I mean the girl's dad is Igbo. Then her mom is Yoruba. But it's the mom that is now saying that she not marry someone from another tribe. I say kilo they this one. But the babe last when she presented the guy, they said they don't want. She now said, okay, no wahala. She now told the guy, let's just go and continue it. When they are tired, they will call us. Well, I wouldn't say I would go ahead without their approval, and neither would I stop. I'll just keep talking to them, negotiating, lobbying, and I believe that at the end we'll find a common ground, and then they will have me have my way. It actually
There's some people that are very adamant. What if they never call them? There's some people that are very.
Call now.
There are some tribes that they are very, very.
They remind you that you're not 32.
They will remind you that, especially you're a babe. They remind you you're getting older.
That you're not 32.
Say you purposely did it. Go and bring gift. Don't worry. We are ready to accept it.
You know?
But that
I won't
doesn't
actually.
work. You know that.
It doesn't. That's what I'm saying.
Some parents can be very.
Some parents
very
will say no.
And when they say no, it's a no.
It's a no.
But me, I feel if it's someone me I love, whether they tell me go ahead, me I'll go ahead. If I have that conviction deep within me, me, I'll go ahead.
It feels like it, but I would still try to get their approval.
No, it's true now. Me, I'll go ahead.
I'm very particular about my parents' blessings. So
For me, parental consent is very important.
Well, for a marriage to be legal, we all know that consent is required. So
nobody is doubting the importance of their consent, but when you look at it, they are not the ones that will live in the house with you.
That's right.
no, it's
They won't be
deeper
in
than
that.
that.
They won't be in that
trust me.
marriage with you. Eh?
It's deeper than
So
that.
also deeper like
it's your own life. They can only do what? Guide you, advise you. This is what we are saying.
Well, you carry
It's
your
left to you to either decide to go that way or not. If my parents are against the person I love, someone I really want to get married to, if I really love the person, I'll go ahead and marry the person. I'll try and make my parents see reason with why I should marry the person. But if they don't see reason with it, it's my life. They've lived theirs. I have to live mine. So if I truly, deep within me, I believe that's the person I want to get married to, I'll go ahead.
Let me tell you
Let
something.
me, okay.
go ahead.
If issues comes up, the only person you have is your family, and by the time you turn your back on your family, who's going to be there for you?
You're not turning your
And
back
they will
on
always.
them.
What
I'm
are you?
turning your back on
It's
them.
as
Oh,
good
what
as
are you
turning
doing,
your
man?
back on
No,
them.
What are you doing?
they are-
It's as good as
They are not
turning
giving.
your back
They
on
are
No,
not
say I
giving.
no take your advice. No mean say.
But are you not
I know
saying-
No,
what
you're
it
going
is.
against
We
my
will
advice
see.
now.
it's
I
not
told
my-
you not to marry this person.
And I went ahead and married the person.
Okay, so-
Don't you disagree with your parents once in a while?
That's a
that's-
different
it's the same
thing.
thing
That's
now.
a different.
But-
We are talking
but
about
I
people
don't
that are
say-
adamant that no, you cannot.
But
You're not
I
going to.
don't
I'm not going to
say
be
that.
there. I'm not going to come for your
No
wedding.
problem.
You guys are not on the same
Me
book.
too. I'm
then.
adamant that I must marry the
No,
person.
listen.
Okay, so what? When issues?
But it doesn't mean that we will now be fighting. No, now.
Oh, you guys will still be on the
Oh,
same.
you
Yes.
think
beg,
you
it's
can
a
be
lie.
friends?
The only thing they
Like,
know
you
is calm
cannot
down.
be friends.
No,
Your
you'll be
parents-
friends.
Maybe your
Friends
mom
with
still will
you.
be doing this, but your mom.
That's your P man. He will not even listen to
But they
you.
can-
That
put
one
on
is
the
a lie.
pressure
So your
thing.
parents won't come for your wedding.
And you'll be
But-
cool with it.
but they can
And you'll
put-
be cool with
they
it, and
can-
then your parents will now still be talking and they'll be close with your wife. It's
I won't
a
be.
lie.
I won't be cool with it.
It's a lie.
But it doesn't mean that they will not abandon me or they won't be talking to me again or I won't be talking to them.
Okay, how
It doesn't mean you
It-
talk.
what it simply means is that we've disagreed on something.
Somehow
Move on, we
very
move
big
on.
and
That's not
Forget
something.
that,
That's like
move
a
on.
major part of your life. That's not just something.
The worst they
It's
can
not-
do is to say.
It's not
the worst
just
they can do.
okay. Maybe don't do this thing. Okay, don't go this place. Don't travel to this place. This is like an
A
important
major
part
life
of your
decision.
life.
See,
A life
the
decision.
worst they can do is to say, okay, when your marriage is having issues, we will not say a
We
word.
won't say a word
That's the
about
worst they will
Let me
do.
tell you
Okay.
something.
Not that if you give birth, they will not say they won't come for the
me,
naming.
if
But there are people like that now. Why are you acting as if that?
there are
There are people
parents
like that.
like
They
that.
won't see their grandchildren. They won't see anybody.
parents like
Eh,
that.
They
those
will
parents-
disown
they-
the child. They will
parents like
tell
that, they are
you.
not thinking deep.
Even
While growing up, when you grow up from being a toddler to teenagehood to adulthood and everything, it's not every time you see eye to eye with your parents. Now, is it every time you have issues with your parents, every time you have confrontation with your parents? Does that mean that you people fight and you don't talk again? You still talk. You guys will still relate. So the fact that what they've done is they've just advised you. They've given you their own take on it. You can't marry this person. I now insist. I say, oh, I've heard your advice, but this is the person I want to get married to. Doesn't mean we should now start fighting and keeping malice. It just means that you've advised me, I didn't take your advice. It doesn't mean that we won't see eye to eye on other issues. There are still so many things we will do together. The fact that I didn't take one advice does not mean that we will now see each other, we won't be greeting each other. Or I won't talk to them again. Or I will now excuse myself of the fact that they are still my parents. No, they are still my parents. It's just that I don't agree with them on their choice for me. I decided to choose for myself. They said no, but I said yes. We've disagreed on that part. It doesn't mean we'll keep on disagreeing on all other things. No. I believe all this is just about how matured the person handles the situation. Some people, when they have confrontations like that with their parents, they feel, oh, that is the end of the relationship, parent and child relationship. That's the end. Since they don't agree with my wife, they can't relate to my family. No, you have to be more matured with it. The worst that will happen is that they will say, oh, when it comes to issue of your family, that is the child, the parents will say, okay, when it comes to issue, if you have marital problems, don't come to us. That's the worst that will happen. Doesn't mean that the relationship of father and son or mother and son or mother and daughter or father and daughter won't go on. Come on. It's supposed to be way past that. It shouldn't be predicated on that.
Shei's reason, his points saying that even if he goes against his parents' wishes, he thinks that things will be fine after that. Everybody will be charming and everything will be fine between his parents and himself and his wife. I don't think so. In my own opinion, I don't think everything will be fine, because you're going against that. For example, if it's a situation whereby the parent says, oh, I'm not giving you my blessings, I'm not coming for the wedding. You can't tell me that after everybody will be fine. It's not possible. Everything cannot be fine. Everything can't be fine.
And
They
I'm
are
just
not
telling you,
thinking-
that there are some issues like there are some people like that it happens, and that will be their situation whereby they will tell the girl, you cannot marry this person. I've told you I'm not in support of this. I'm not going to give you my blessing. I'm not going to come for the wedding and everything. And then from there on, they're going to cut off from the family. From there
Cut all
on,
ties with you.
they will cut ties with you.
But
So how are you
it's
going to
not
go from
it's
there?
not so easy, sha.
How are you going
It's
to
not
go?
so
But
easy.
it happens.
It happens now.
It happens. I'm not saying this thing
It
happens.
happens.
What are you
It
going
still
to do?
happens.
Okay, Shei's comment on the fact that if he turns his back on his parents when it comes to this decision making about marriage, life continues. Well, what works for Mr. A may not work for Mr. B. And that doesn't make Mr. A's opinion wrong. I respect people, I respect their opinions, their ideas, their belief, and all of that. So, if it works for Shay, it's fine with him.
A mother will cut off ties with her
Who
daughter
come
because
for
the
What are
mother
you
went to marry
saying?
another
Who
person.
come
Of
for
course.
A mother.
Yes.
Na lie.
Who come for Mugo?
See.
I beg
Oh,
you.
you've not seen it.
Especially if that's their first child,
Wait,
their
let me-
first
let me-
grandchild.
let me-
Now
But
say
if your
you
Mugo
good.
na
Wait, let me
US, your
clear
mom go
something.
like come.
I think that all of us here.
Honestly speaking, I don't know where you people are behind.
But I
Maybe
don't
it's
know.
under that rock that you don't people
All of us
don't
here
see
are
what is
Nigerians.
happening.
And we know
We
what's
We are
happening
not saying it
outside.
doesn't happen. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. What I'm saying is, it's not supposed to be so.
And it's not
That
supposed
we
to
disagree
be
on
it
so.
happens.
No.
What's the take?
What
What's
I'm
the
now
take?
saying
What's
is
happening?
that it's left for the person, let's say me for example, to make them realize that the fact that I did not take your advice on this does not mean that we should be at loggerheads.
But what if they
We will
don't
still
agree?
see eye to eye on other issues,
Misha,
What if
other
they don't-
family issues.
Misha, I'll keep
Like what?
I'm not saying don't
issues?
hate my wife. Don't even like her guts. No problem. We don't agree on that one.
But
But we'll agree on other issues.
But actually, some can actually.
Let me-
I think
let me
the
tell
far,
you.
the far parents can go is to ignore the wife, but
They will just ignore the wife.
they'll
That's
still
all.
want their child.
There's
Or
no
ignore
way,
the husband.
There is no, let me
They
tell
will
you, so there's no
ignore
way it
you,
will not
their
affect your
child.
other relationship with them.
With them.
Because first of all, they will think that, let me tell you, whether
Especially
you like
if
it
you
or
are
not,
the
that's
one
the
bringing the
that's the most important part
Imagine,
of
I'm the
your
one
life.
bringing the money.
Eh.
I didn't
Yeah,
go.
you are the
I didn't
one.
now follow the advice.
You are
And
the
I'm marrying
rich
another person.
money.
You are
You
the
now say
bread
they are
and-
vexing
the-
for me.
The bread and pancake.
I beg you. What did they do?
Those are those people we are talking about.
Now
normal
that time
people.
Yoruba go say, well, we cannot send the bad
All the
time
people
for
that I know
lions.
say that even
Eh,
Yoruba.
cannot
people.
change.
All the people that I know that even
You
Yoruba.
cannot
people.
change the
No,
bread
You
and
want it to
pancake.
as if you don't see what is happening in this thing.
Now,
Because you
into the
don't know
word
doesn't
film, now
mean
film, now film,
it
now
is
film.
not film.
Shei's point cannot be totally thrown away, in that depending on the parent, it's a relative thing. Some parents are very well exposed. They know how to draw lines and walk beyond boundaries as well. So I think it depends on the parent. So it's practicable. It can be done. Some children can have their way with the love of their life and still have a very good relationship with their parents. But in the end, such parents will always come around. They'll come around to see reasons that, even though in the first place we didn't quite approve of, but hey, it's gone now. Let's just go together and
Not
See,
film.
I can tell you
Why you
someone
people
I know-
saying
someone I know where I
you
live
people be
right
saying
now.
that
She had this issue with her mom. She's the first child. She had this issue with her mom, and she gave the first child she would give birth to were a set of twins. Do you understand? And her mom refused to come for this omugo that we are trying to talk
to
about.
talk about.
But
You
the
are acting
younger
as if you
Okay.
people are living
No.
under the rock.
It's women in the society like how can this young girl take care of this child on her own or the children on her own? They're the ones that stepped in
but
and
they're
are
happily
helping the
married.
lady.
But they're happily married.
How am I supposed to know?
No, but I mean, have you seen the husband?
Yes, they have.
That's
No,
not
no,
the,
no.
the question
so-
is
What I'm
about
saying
is not
is
me
that
if
at
they're
that
happily
point-
married or not.
Even
My own
at-
is
she now has
I
a
will
child.
not go
The
against
parents
my
have turned their
parents.
back on her because she chose to get married to this guy, and now she has a child. It's not easy
But
to take
what
care of
if
twins.
these reasons
They
are?
still did not come to
Wait,
take care of the
what
lady.
if these reasons are just flimsy?
Exactly.
Parents
That's
can
What
just
if they are
come up with
flimsy excuses?
reasons
Flimsy
like-
reasons why
No,
they don't
no,
want you to marry
like
that
the
person.
girl
I will
na
not
from
make-
like she's not from
the
your
girl na
place.
from
Like,
there.
she's not from our tribe.
She's not
Okay.
from our tribe.
You know,
Which is the
let me-
major,
let me
which is
tell
the
you,
major
that's
thing.
the major
Always.
thing.
But it's
Sometimes,
flimsy,
if you look
don't
at
you
what
think?
when you look at what some parents are looking at, you could understand them from a point of view.
What
For
are-
instance, let me explain. I know of someone that I know that the dad said to him, "You can't get married to this girl."
Why?
He said, "Why, Daddy? Why?" The father said two things. First of all, she's not from our place. The girl said that's not a big deal. They are from the same state,
Okay.
not the same
Community.
community.
Town.
I hope you know you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, Igbo,
Later,
they do that
the father now said
Igbo, they even
another
marry
reason. It's not Igbo.
outside
This is
their
Yoruba.
past.
Sheyi. Don't let me call names.
They talk.
It's not Igbo at all.
Inewi,
You know,
Inewi will not even
Inewi.
marry
See,
Go ahead,
another
go
person.
ahead.
wait. You know, at that point, it got to a point where the father now said, "Okay, aside this reason that she's not even from her place, is she staying with her dad at the present time?"
That with her
Wait,
parents.
yeah, with her parents. The guy said, "No, her mom raised her." The father said, "Since her mom could not stay in her husband's house, the girl will not stay."
Stay.
Do you
That
understand?
is like-
That's his point of view.
That's
He may be very
Well, I
wrong.
don't understand.
true. That the fact that she's from a broken home.
The fact that she's
Means
broken home
that
means that she
she
will
might
not.
not-
She will not
okay.
uphold
She
the
too,
standard
she
of
will not, you don't,
But it's not
Do you
automatic.
it's
understand?
not automatic job.
Sheyi.
Thank you, it's not automatic.
What I mean by flimsy excuses from parents are most parents in this part of the world, if we're going to be focused, is that they try to make their inputs based on ethnicity. Where is she from? Where is he from? And then sometimes again, family status, right? So those are excuses that I feel that are flimsy. But if they get something much more concrete that goes beyond these ephemeral things, then you can say, okay, my parents might actually be right. Then you begin to consider to see how you can review what your choice is. But what I call flimsy ethnicity, she's from here, he's from there. I don't think love conquers all that. Or he's poor, or she's poor, or she's not educated. So, but I do believe that everyone that wants to get married would have seen certain things that it might not be 100%, but reasonably that the partner, so to speak, do have, and they can actually dispense with. It's just your elimination method. Okay, even if this is my checklist, if the partner doesn't come with this, I can do like that, and then you're good to go. So.
Martin.
But this thing with value is personal.
That's what I'm saying. The man has been able to lay his reasons bare.
It's a different thing if you give me concrete reason that now bandy. Now winch.
Okay, so when
or she's an arm robber.
Okay, if your father tells you that the girl you want to get married to is a witch, you will not get married to her.
You say?
We'll take her for
deliverance. For instance, you will not get married to her.
Why redemption camp did here?
Okay, since
I carry and go church. We'll go deliver him.
MFM.
You're going against what you just said. You said that except the father says she's a witch or something.
That's
why you will not
find out now.
The reason why I gave you the example of witch.
Being a witch.
The reason why I gave you the example of being a witch is when they give you reasons that you cannot overlook. Reasons that cannot be solved.
Compelling reasons.
She's been a prostitute before. It's compelling.
Yeah, she's not born again.
Okay, no, I'm looking at you said prostitute.
You get me, sir.
I'm listening what you said. You said she's a retired prostitute. That could be compelling.
Now she's born again.
No.
Pensioner, no sure.
No, it's not only pensioner.
I don't know.
Sorry.
There are times I can agree with my parents' decision. If, for example, they give me good and very, very cogent reasons as to why I should not go ahead with the marriage, as in why I should not marry this particular person. If their reasons are very, very cogent and very compelling, and I actually see reasons with their reason, and I see that there is no way I can avoid those reasons, then I'm going to go with them and I will let the person go. But if I see a solution, irrespective of their reasons, I'll try and work on those solutions. And if the solutions work, I'll go ahead with the person.
I want to say something about this issue of parental consent.
You receive pension.
Parental consent, it differs from person to person.
Yeah.
There was this program we went for at that time. That they gave us a questionnaire, if you can remember. They said, pick 5 things that you cannot do without. After picking the 5 things, they told you to pick 3 things again that we cannot do from that 5. You pick another 3. Yeah. From the 3, you pick 1. Do you understand? That means, okay, if I'm looking out for things I want to see in a guy before I get married to him, must he be educated? Must he be rich? Must he be good looking? Must my parents like him? Now, if I've taken 4 now, from this 4, I'm saying, okay, maybe my parents don't like him, it's not my business. Every other thing can work. Do you understand? So the parental consent thing,
elimination method.
Yeah, it differs from person to person.
Parental consent is just very, because I'm very, very traditional, you understand. I can be traditional in some things, and in this aspect I am very traditional. Like, I really value my parents' consent before I can go ahead to do something that important in my life, because I feel like marriage is very important. They're going to be involved in every aspect of the way. There's no way I can't cut my family off, you understand, just because I want to get married. I want everything to be fine, you understand, because life is not even easy, you understand. There will be issues in marriage whereby you need your family's support. So it's 100% important to me.
My parental consent to me is very, very important. That's the truth. And I cannot turn my back on them. I cannot actually turn my back on my parents when it comes to this crucial decision of my life. So, that's it.
if my
Not
other
allowed.
things I'm looking out for is more important than what my
But
parents
we
are
know in
saying.
this climb, in this our climb is she's not from so place.
That's-
She's not from
that-
our backyard.
yes. She's
That
from
is
our backyard
typically
or
the-
Which are the-
spiritually.
which
Or
are
I've gone
mostly
to
the
pray in this
excuses
place.
they always
Pastor
give.
said that
That's
you
the
people are not
major
compatible.
Which are the excuses they
The
always
most,
give?
the common one is tribe. Second one is, I've gone to pray
and
somewhere.
then pastor said,
Pastor
say
said
you
that
people are
some
not
mission and you people are not
compatible.
Compatibility,
compatible.
yeah.
Let me
Yeah,
tell you
I'm
something.
not-
Me,
So what if he now says you're not compatible?
Me,
No, but
I
you,
would
is
never
it
go
not
against
you
my
that will
parents.
find out compatible? Is
I
it
will
your
never,
parents?
I will
Then
never
what
go
about
against my
spiritual
parents'
eyes now?
Are
consent.
they
Yeah,
the one
yeah,
that
I'll
find
go pray
compatible?
Me
Is
too, I'll
it,
go pray.
wait, comfort.
I'm very,
Is it your
to me,
parents
for me,
that will
my
find
parents'
out
consent is very
compatible for
important
you
to me.
and
Like,
your
No, you know, when they go to pray,
I won't do anything without my
when those
parents'
parents go to pray,
consent.
sometimes they come back and tell you what they've seen.
Yeah,
What
yes,
they've
But
we
you know you
know,
can't rely on your parents'
And that's what
prayers
I'm
for
saying
that
now.
because they might be praying from a position of sentiment.
Wait.
Like I've always believed that as parents grow older, they are more selfish. They grow more selfish with their children. Say as a mother to son relationship, father to daughter relationship. So as they grow more selfish, they want to they kind of make their consent based on some controlling factors like, okay, if she's from where we are from, we can speak the same language and then I can be able to, we can relate very well. So they are more concerned about their own relativity with their child's partner other than the relativity of their child with his or her partner. And that's not supposed to be, because I do believe that partners wanting to get married are for themselves, notwithstanding the fact that they need some kind of direction and guidance from parents, but they are for themselves because in the end they will be the one to live together. And so if you've seen that, okay, this person, I can live with this person, you've done all your calculations or whatever it is that are the indices that you're using, and you kind of check it. Why not?
When they have said such a thing, you know you're supposed to. You've heard from them.
You pray your
okay, mommy,
prayers.
I will also pray about it. But you know that whatever you're praying about, they've already built an opinion from what they've heard.
Yes,
Sentimental
it's
So
not
when you
left
now-
for you.
When you now go to pray, for instance, and in your prayer time, you got that the two of you are compatible. And they're saying you're not compatible. By the time you go back there, they'll be like, no.
You make them
Hey, it's my
seriously.
pastor against your pastor.
Yes. So that
It's
clash
my
of-
own prayer, my
that-
own vision, my own
that-
revelation
that-
against your own
Well,
revelation.
me, I
now
cannot
clash
trade
of
my
pastors
parental
now.
consent for anything.
No, but
Well, if I pray about it, if I pray about a spouse, and my parents also pray about the same spouse, and they're seeing something else, and I am also seeing something else, I think we need to pray again. And this time we have to pray together because, I don't know how to explain this, but a snake that one person kills can be bigger than necessary. But a snake that two persons kill is usually the same and normal size. Do you understand? So I feel that if they've seen something different, I'm seeing something different, we need to pray again. And whoever we see at this point should be the right person.
actually,
If na person where you love this person well, forget prayer. They tell you.
But let me tell you.
Do you know-
Okay, let me put it this way.
Factually,
Before now,
forget it. You will get
before
married
now,
to that
if they
person.
give me-
Who
Who
says?
says
If they
that?
give me a
At least
companion-
me,
As
I've had
in
a
you
personal
love the
experience.
person, as
Yes.
in love the person.
Yes.
So they
Me too.
Yes.
love the person.
Yes, whatever you're
The
saying.
way you love me. Love the person. You can't talk all this. What's this common?
But
What
if
are
they
you
give me
talking
a
about?
companion,
If you love person,
see, if they give me a compelling reason, if that reason is not as flimsy as ethnicity,
all those things.
I'll
Forget all
throw
this.
it away.
Forget all that.
But
Honestly speaking,
if you give me a
I would.
compelling
Let
Let
me tell you. Let me
Stop-
tell you
stop
why.
saying these
You know
things
why?
like
I
they
think
don't
one of the
exist.
things is because there's this thing they say in Yoruba that
An elder sits.
exactly
sitting
what
down.
is sitting down, a child will not sit
even if it's
standing
You
up.
climb tree
You
now.
understand? I don't know. Well,
Wait lane day now. I'll go
You
over
climb
see.
tree. You climb tree.
anyways,
Okay.
for me, like, it's very, very important for me, for my parents to give me consent. You understand?
I'm not
need
disputing that fact
I
too.
want their blessing. So if I try to make them see why, I really care about this person, I really love this person, and then they still tell me, they give me cogent reasons why, it's because of you, we care about it, and that is why we're
We are
thinking
saying
about your
this.
future. That's why we're saying this. You understand? They love me, and I know they won't want something that is bad for me.
Yeah.
That is why, honestly speaking, that's why I cannot even joke.
Utterly selfish. I'm
I'm talking personally
Yeah,
right
that's what
now.
I'm saying.
You
I'm
may
saying-
even
Korede,
talking
let me
personally
ask
right
you a
now.
question
My
now.
parents won't do
Let-
anything.
Wait, let me ask Korede this question
That's
now.
why
You want to get married to
you
someone
be
you
seeing
love.
from a position of love.
That you
Wait,
love so much.
you
You
are
want to
saying
get married to someone you love so much now. And now your parents now say, Korede, no, we love you so much, we care for you, we know what's best for you. Cannot allow you to marry this guy. Why? Because he's not from Ondo.
No, my parents don't say that.
No, let me just assume that they say because of that,
I'll
don't get married to him. Or because he's Igbo, don't get married to him.
Well, I'll just make them, first of all, if you're talking about, you're just citing as an example.
As an example, they give you that kind of reason.
I'll just make them say, there are people that you can call to talk to them and something.
They don't want to see reason.
There are other people, that's not the only guy in this Nigeria.
So you don't love the person. You don't love the person.
You don't love
You don't love the person. Wait, what about people?
You don't love the person.
You people you're talking about people this thing. What about
Korede, you don't love that person. When Korede made the comment that if her parents tell her not to get married to the person, she'll let the person go. And I told her, I said it spot on that then she doesn't love the person. And I still stand by it. That's because if you love someone, you don't give up on that person. Irrespective of what or who that person is. Irrespective of the baggage they are carrying. If you truly love someone, then you'll be ready to stick your guns out for that person. You'll be ready to go the extra mile. You will turn deaf ears to whatsoever bagadash anybody is telling you about the person. So that's why I said she's not really in love. I can't imagine myself being really, really in love with someone. And you just tell me, oh, you can't get married to the person because he's from another tribe or he's from another religion. And I will now say because of that, I'm not getting married to the person. That means I don't love the person enough. If I truly love the person enough, I would fight for the person.
You're saying love is not enough. You're saying love is not enough.
Because you never fall in love yet. If you fall in love,
but let me tell you, I cannot undermine my parents.
That's my own decision. I don't care about
here's the point.
This thing.
If the reason is flimsy, right?
Okay,
like I said, I'll just come. I'll not raise the issue of marriage. In fact, I'll not raise the issue of marriage again. I'll keep visiting them. They will come back and tell me, say, which one they your hand? Bring them.
I know.
But if they don't come back, Uncle.
They will come back.
If they don't come back.
Africa, they will come back.
I tell you.
They might not. They might not.
Are you going to try them?
Some parents wicked, they know. They go no say na your plan be that. They know come.
The possibility of them coming back is very long. So they will come back.
They don't come back.
That's your own. That's your own.
That's the way
It is you that you don't want to waste your time. Them, they are already living their life.
I go waste the time.
They are living their. That's one point I want you. That's one point I want you guys to understand. They are already living their lives.
Well, me,
I can bet you with you. Don't say parents. If they are in your shoe, they don't go agree.
There's an alternative.
Let me tell you.
I don't care. I'm very
Shey,
traditional and I'm very, very spiritual. So I
Baby mama
really
now. The girl is not born.
care about my
They
parents'
wait
consent.
until they approve, then we'll come back on marriage.
See, let me tell you this. Oluseyi and Bright, you guys should listen.
I'm listening.
When the parents give reasons, whether you decide to take it or not, they cannot deliberately want to hurt you. That's the truth.
We know.
Hold on.
know.
Now, when someone, like let's say my dad sees a guy that I really love, in quotes,
like
I love
me.
him so much,
Like me.
I can't do without him.
Yeah.
Now, daddy
Everybody
has seen.
is everybody that
Stop.
loves you.
I'm loving
Now,
you.
when my daddy sees this person, for
check me
instance,
out.
he tells me,
And then
you know,
forget come and
what
check,
kind of
check
parent I
me
have
out.
to tell you, I don't have the right to pry into your privacy. But I'll tell you this as an advice. You can take it or you leave it. That's the way my parents will advise you. I'm telling you what they can tell you. This person is not good for you. Daddy, what did you see? I'm coming.
Good.
Daddy, what did you see? I feel he's temperamental.
Now your father
I'm
they see the
coming.
temperament for
Yes,
you. For your
listen
whole
now.
relationship.
Let me explain. Wait.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
he's
yeah.
temperamental. I think I can work with it. Listen. For instance, I was in a relationship where my daddy told me and said, this person is not good for you. He has said that to me before. And I love the guy like crazy.
You saw it from
Listen,
afar.
he had never met the guy. My dad had never met that guy. But, you know, the person will call me on the phone. When he calls me like twice and I don't pick my call, I'm in trouble. Do you understand? Where are you? Where have you been? And if I don't pick my call maybe for like 1 hour or so, the next thing he will do is to call my mom. Where's that girl of yours? What's she doing where she is? Is she prostituting?
Are you for real?
School fees, so.
Wait, this is I'm telling you. Shay, wait, this is I'm telling you. Tosin can testify.
I'm
not
not talking,
joking.
I did hear you.
Now, when that thing, I wasn't home when the person called mom. Do you understand? When I got back, they didn't tell me anything that he called and all of that. In the evening, when we were talking, normal family discussion, Daddy said, I don't know this person. He called the person's name. I was shocked, like, I've not brought him home, so how come you know him?
They check your phone.
You know, he didn't check my phone. The person called.
As the phone they ring, they see the call.
So,
Sure, you
you
know
know-
the charger.
Daddy said, I don't have a right to tell you what to do when it comes to relationship, but I can think that this person is not good for you. Because as it is, I didn't tell them that this person could assault me.
Word of God.
Do you understand? But then they had seen this and told me, you can't end with this person. I was thinking I could manage the situation. But when the parents are saying, I've already seen it. And they said, this thing is not good.
But
I love him. I could die for him if I wanted to.
So you
But
let
you
you let him go.
I let him
Yes.
go.
But can
I don't
say-
know people
can I-
that
can I
you
say
can imagine that kind of
something?
thing.
You know to love.
Okay, so wait.
If you
You are
give me
very.
I'm not
Wait,
gonna come for the
I
wedding.
come
Why
for
you
wait.
telling me?
So what you are saying is that people
I
that
should go
love
ahead
each
for
other.
him to
Wait,
beat me
now
up.
you say love.
Love,
If,
love
for
is going.
instance, that I really love this guy, but he beats me every time. I'm going to be with him because I love him.
Because I love him.
No, that's what he's saying. He's saying she doesn't love the guy.
When someone is
There's
beating you, you
abuse
won't love
already.
him again.
Who
There's
says?
abuse
The love
already.
will reduce.
What about girls that
abuse is
what
there.
about girls
But
that
already-
that in that situation right now and they're not living just because they love the
They
guy?
don't love the
They
guy.
have no
They
self-
are just
they have
obsessed.
no-
They are just obsessed.
They have no
No,
self-esteem.
let me tell you something.
They have
It
no
doesn't have
self-esteem.
anything. They are not
He
living
has
because
broken them.
they are not living because
They are not slaves.
They love him and then they keep
Self-esteem
thinking
issues.
he's
He'll
not it's not because of
He'll
self-esteem. You guys should
change.
calm down. They'll keep thinking I
Those
really
women
love
because I can
him.
promise you heaven and earth.
Exactly. They're so
Baby,
caring.
I'm so sorry. I won't do
After
anything. I
they
promise.
they're so caring, you
They will cry from
understand?
morning till night.
And then they will cry,
And then
and then
they'll
they
come
will be
back to
like,
that thing again.
he's
They don't
still
get
going to
boyfriend.
change. He's going to
These guys are
change.
being abusive.
You know?
Yeah, you know, I say, well, I
They
don't
be
be
like, he's going to
abusing you.
change.
No.
He's going to change. He's going to
You don't
change.
understand.
And then they are there. So
You-
what
you
you're
will
trying
be
to say is
hoping
that,
that he will change, and he will
if the
not
girl
change.
leaves,
I
she
saw
doesn't
one
love the
videos
guy.
on Twitter
Doesn't love
recently.
the guy.
So she's supposed to stay there
he
and
bought
the
me
guy is
flowers.
If the guy is beating
you
her,
seen
the
that
love
video?
will reduce to a
Have you
point
seen
that
that-
she will
have
know
you
that
seen
it's
Why
that?
you
not
poor?
worth it.
Honestly speaking,
Have
you
you
trying
seen
to
that?
be
Have you-
realistic.
have you
The point is, parental consent is extremely important. That's one thing that we should get cleared on. It's very, very important. I'm not undermining the fact that it's not important, because if I do that, then I'll be lying to both myself and to any other person listening. Because parental consent is extremely important. Because you see, there's a saying that what the elders see while sitting down, a young person will not see it, even if he's at the top of a palm tree. To a certain extent, it's very true. So when parents advise against some things, they've seen it, they would have their reasons to a certain extent. So it's very, very important. Parental consent, extremely important.
Shay said that even if he doesn't mind, he's going to go against his parents' wishes if they don't support him marrying a particular girl. That is, I don't think he's not being real, or you know, maybe he's being real or he's not being real. That's his own opinion. You understand? We are all different people. We all have different views about life. We all have different ways of life. We all, you understand? So that if he thinks that he can go against his parents' wishes, that means it works for him. That means it's okay. But for me, it's not okay. So I really can't say if he's being real or he's not being real. That's just his own opinion.
Sorry,
He bought
those
me
guys.
flowers.
Sorry, those guys
Have
that
you seen
beat
that
up
video?
their
He
woman.
bought me flowers.
Yeah?
And there's this video that trended for a while. He bought me flowers. This thing you're saying is that those kind of guys, that's why I said low self-esteem is starting. A guy beating you and then he comes and sweet talk you and say, sorry, I couldn't possibly do that to you, blah, 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 blah. And just flip the coin and now and then, boa. And he buys you flower every now and then. See, sometimes he has talked you down that he's reduced you to, as in, he has reduced you so bad that you can't say anything good. You don't see yourself being loved or appreciated by
I
someone
don't appreciate
else.
that. Let me tell you something.
I'm telling you.
You see, when you see a man that becomes so possessive that he begins to beat his woman, one thing I'm very
begins to what?
sure of, begins to beat that woman. One thing I'm very, very sure of is that that person loves the girl.
Yeah?
I'm telling you.
Jesus.
The what?
The guy. Wait now, listen. I'm
Wait,
talking-
now?
Listen,
I'm going
let
to
me make
pick
a
up you.
point. Get me.
You say,
Someone that is beating you, that as in the guy that is beating that woman, he loves that woman.
Stop
Now why
saying
they
this,
beat her?
oh.
That's not why he's beating her.
Why is he
Why
beating
is
her?
it here?
He's beating her because
Come down,
Wait now, he's beating her because he cannot contain his anger. He's. You don't understand what I'm trying to say. I don't
I
like
don't
it.
understand. Have you been there before? Because
Are you serious right
So
now?
now he has
Guy,
become
we-
possessed.
Now lie.
Oh, see, ask. I'm not joking now. Go, do a survey. I'm
Because
not-
you've seen supporters from the
no.
crew, but
From
you're
what
not
crew?
saying.
No, I'm not even looking at the crew. I'm telling you from